All right, Shalom. This is Brother Mayom coming at you from JMS Tampa Bay. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechah Kwadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone. And most blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing on this truth and its truth and sincerity. And Lord's will, this video is edifying. I want to go in on a topic of, on a video that Brother REI had sent out earlier today from Infographics News, I believe is what the name of the channel was. And basically what the video was talking about is what to expect, or, basically along the lines of 2023 is going to be, even worse than what, than what people expect and what is going on now. Okay. And so, as we draw near to the, to the name, to the title of the upcoming year, the apostle always gives the, the title for the year, anticipation of deliverance. It's high. And, we must also remember, we remember the brothers who are sincere, who are being diligent and being watchmen and doing what they're, called to do, are aware that with the salvation comes judgment as well. Okay. They go both hand in hand. All right. And so, we're getting very close to the coming in the day of Yahweh Shem Shai, which a lot of people misinterpret. Okay. A lot of people on the earth misconstrued the coming of the day of the Lord because they think that it's supposed to be a wonderful day. Everyone in the world is going to rejoice when the Lord returns, and that is not true. And let's get this and start off with this in Amos chapter 5, verse 18. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light." You see? So if you have an idea that the coming of the day of the Lord, who you call Jesus Christ and God, whose true names are Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, if you have any notion of celebration time for the world, then you're very, very mistaken. Because the day of the Lord is going to be a terrible day in the eyes of the world. Okay? The people of this world are getting ready to suffer a suffering that has never been seen before on the earth, man. And it's gonna all be closed out with a bang, which is what we're hoping for here in 2023, man. All right. So let's start off here in Zephaniah chapter 1, and let's start at verse 13, or Salakia, verse 14. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 14, it says, "The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly," man. And see, a lot of people are again, going back to that Amos 5, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. For what end is it for you, man? Here it is. You're thinking the day of the Lord is coming with everybody gets deliverance, like the Oprah Winfrey show. You get deliverance, you get deliverance, you get saved, you get saved. And that's not true, man. A lot of people are going to be killed, man. And I went into this a little yesterday, in my last video. A lot of people are getting ready to die here on these last days, man. Primarily at that final buzzer. All right. Hey, man, when that final buzzer goes off, man, y'all through. Y'all are going to be done, man. This is why we have to have faith, man. And let's get this in, because ultimately we know that the last buzzer, all right, that last trumpet that's going to sound are these missiles, okay? And so you have to have faith, man, that you're going to be delivered through your works, through you believing and your works, because it tells us, before I get this in Ephesians, let's get this in 2nd Ezra chapter 9. And verse 7, 2nd Ezra 9 and 7, and it says, "And everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, which you show your faith by your works, whereby ye have believed. You see, so that faith is very key in your deliverance, man, because we're hoping to be delivered from this coming judgment, man, the elect, the 144,000 men, we're gonna see Yahweh Shai return, and those of us that have, those of the elect that have already gone to the spirit world to be with Yahweh Shai, they're gonna return with him to see the judgment as well. But those of us that are left here, we're gonna behold, and we're gonna be saved by this hair of our chinny chin chins, man. We're gonna be saved between that seventh trumpet, between the sixth and the seventh trumpet. All right. So as those missiles are coming down, we're gonna be going up. Lord's will, we be those men. But let me get this in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 16, because I said that faith is gonna be key. Ephesians 6 and 16, and we read it in Second Ezra, that you're gonna be saved through your works and your faith, whereby ye have believed, right? We're paraphrasing. So Ephesians 6 and 16, it says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, man. And some one of the forms of those fiery darts are those missiles, man, the ICBM missiles. So through your faith, you're going to be able to quench that, because they're not going to burn you. They're not going to touch you. Just like Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Okay, in that furnace. Okay, that fire was in there, and they were in there, but they didn't get touched. In Lord's will, the elect is gonna suffer the same salvation, the same deliverance, where the fire is gonna be in there, and there's gonna be a fourth man amongst us, and that man that is gonna be amongst us is gonna be the coverings of Yahweh Shai, man, which that was Yahweh Shai in there with them. Okay, so we're gonna need salvation. Faith is gonna be key for salvation. Okay, especially from the nuclear destruction that's getting ready to come upon the earth, and we see things leading up to it, man. You just had Vladimir Zelensky, if that's how you pronounce his first name, president of Ukraine, come over to the Americas, and Trump, passed a bill or a law or whatever, to send over some Patriot missile defense systems, if I'm not mistaken, or Patriot missiles, which Russia warned against that, about sending them over there, but he's sending them over there anyway. So, things are going to get heated, man. And you got all these experts that all they do is look into these things, talking about nuclear war. Well, you gotta consider. And see, the thing is with Israel is they do not consider. And at the end of the day, all this is the doings of the Lord, as we're going to get into. Okay? But let me finish off this in Zephaniah 1. Zephaniah 1 and 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. So these military guys, first and foremost, they're going to be crying there bitterly, because they're going to be at war, because there is a World War III coming. Okay, and that's going to be the catalyst that leads to nuclear destruction of America in its entirety. Okay, so as these military men are out there fighting these wars, or fighting this war, they're gonna behold, and also over there in the Middle East, because the Middle East is the Valley of Jehoshaphat, spoken of in Joel chapter 3. So these men that are over there are going to be destroyed as well. And also you tough guys over here in America, man. You guys that think that your money's going to cover you. No, man. You got a one-way ticket to destruction, and there ain't no buybacks, man. There ain't no returns, no refunds. You punched your ticket with the world. Well, now you got to deal with it. Now you got to take your seat. And this bus is only one way. The bus that you're on is leading on to your destruction. So in that day, you're gonna be crying there bitterly, man, like a woman in travail, like the scriptures say. All right. It goes on to say, verse 15, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, and a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they should walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. So this is what the day of the Lord consists of, man. Wrath, trouble, distress, wasteness, and desolation. And the missiles are going to bring that wasteness. They're going to bring that desolation, okay? In the midst of World War III, things are going to get so heated to where they're going to launch these missiles, man. And there's already talks of this, man. Because this is what the Lord wants, and this is what he's put in the minds of these elites to do on the earth. Okay? And the strange thing is, strange in the eyes of the world, is that they think themselves to be in control. They think themselves that this is what we got to do to bring about that image of the beast, that new world order. But the Lord has got them in a trick bag, man. And let's go from there. Let's get this in Revelation, because I mentioned about the world war. All right, that's coming. So Revelations 11 and verse 14. It says, goddamn gnats, man. Been having an issue with these gnats, and Jake has just been slacking on getting the remedy. Get some apple cider vinegar and create a little trap for them. But it is what it is. I've been catching them. But that's besides the point. So Revelation 11 and 14, it says the second woe is past, and that woe means destruction. And the second woe is talking about World War II, if you can receive it. All right, because there was 3 woes. Okay, the first woe was World War I. The second woe was World War II. And it says, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And that third woe is what? World War III, which we are in the midst of. Just because they haven't labeled it World War III doesn't mean that we're not already in it. You got all these nations in turmoil, tensions brewing even more. And eventually a lot more nations are going to become involved. Right now, you got the NATO nations, and for the most part on the other side, it's Russia and Iran. But soon, a lot of these nations like China and the BRICS nations, okay, they're all going to be partakers of this. And eventually, that beast shall hate the whore, like it's spoken of in Revelation chapter 17, verse 16, man. But it said that the third woe cometh quickly, man. So that third woe is that World War III that the Lord is brewing over there in the Middle East. Because all roads lead to the Middle East. All roads. This is why you're seeing Iran more and more in the news. Because all roads lead to the Middle East. Because the Middle East is the Valley of Jehoshaphat, man. Okay? And this is, let's get that. And let's get that in Joel chapter 3. And let's read verse 2. Joel chapter 3 and verse 2. I will gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which Jehoshaphat broken down in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, which Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh is the Heavenly Father's name, and Shaphat means judgment. So the Lord is going to judge what? The nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people. And that word plead again is Shaphat, meaning judge. Because all the nations that the Lord is gathering up to go to war one with another is because of the things that they've done unto the nation of Israel, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay, yeah, the Lord scattered us, but he used you nations to do so, to bring about our judgment. Well, now our judgment is fulfilled. The Lord has woken up his elect, and y'all are getting ready to go through it. Okay? So it says and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Let me skip on down to verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, Joel 3 and 9. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And this is the World War III that the Lord is brewing up, man. And we seeing it happen, man. And Lord's will, this year coming up, 2023, be the year where the destruction comes, man. Where the nations go into complete, all-out, full, locked and loaded war, man. Okay? Where there ain't going to be no turning back. There ain't going to be no peace treaties. There not going to be no ceasefires. It's just going to be straight out. We sending them. We sending them boys. Until the point comes to where we've had enough. You know, like that video that the brother Ariel sent, where Russia has a clause, if I heard correctly. I'll have to rewatch it again, but they have a strike first initiative to try to deter any buildup of courage. So they'll strike first with a nuclear weapon, whether it be a regular tactical nuclear missile, or hey man, it might be an ICBM. But once the nuclear missiles get launched, man, it's over with. Okay, there ain't no turning back from that for real. All right. So it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, and the mighty men are these men of war, the armies. Okay, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. And a lot of these nations that have been once before weak have now nuclear capabilities. Now they're allied with other nations that have nuclear capabilities that have sold them nuclear missiles. Okay? It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get ye down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. And see, this is why the Lord is going to bring the judgment upon the earth. The judgment of the missiles, because the wickedness is great upon the earth, man. And so you have to pay for these things that are being done in the midst thereof. And the primary instigator or initiator of this wickedness is Esau Edom. Okay, he's the one that's pushing this out to the world, pushing this out to the madness or to the masses. Okay. So let's go from there. Let's go to Isaiah 24 and verse 18. It says, and it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth shake. You see, so there's not going to be no escaping these missiles, man. Once they're let loose, they're let loose. Okay? And this is going to be the end result of this World War III. Let's get this in 2 Ezra 16 real quick. 2 Ezra 16, and we'll start at verse 3. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? And that sword is that glittering sword spoken of in the scriptures, man. The glittering sword of the Lord is these missiles. So that sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? And the missiles are described as a plague. May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? And the answer is to all those questions is no. You cannot send any of those things away. You cannot stop them. Once you shoot an arrow from a bow, you cannot stop that arrow or make it go back into it like you got rewind. Okay? Once it goes, and there ain't no turning back because these missiles ain't boomerangs. All right? So this is what's going to happen onto the earth, man. It's these missiles are going to go, and there ain't going to be no escaping them, man. No matter how much you run, no matter how much you plead, you will not escape them, man. Okay? And it said, for the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. So the windows from on high are the skies, man. Because what happens when you have a window open? Like right now, I have the window in front of me open in the living room, and what happens with the window open is the breeze comes in, right? But if I had that, Salakia, if I had that window down, the breeze wouldn't be coming in. But see, the windows from on high are going to be opened, so those missiles are going to come through. They're going to come down. Okay. And it says, in the foundations of the earth do shake, because the missiles, when they hit, they're going to be causing earthquakes, man. They're going to be rumbling. All right. It says the earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. You see, because once those missiles hit, especially, man, the amount of chaos that's going to happen on the world, on a worldwide scale, just because of the missiles that hit in America. Let's just take away the missiles that are going to hit everywhere else. If you can just calculate or imagine in your mind the amount of devastation that's going to happen on a worldwide level when all of America is destroyed via nuclear missiles, it's going to be a catastrophic event. Mass earthquakes, tsunamis. The day is going to turn into night because of the clouds. All right, the smoke. It's going to be it's going to be a hell of a day. We'll say that. And Lord's will be delivered from that, man. Those of us that are doing this work, man. Lord's will. Okay. It says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again, man. And this is what's going to come to the earth, man. These missiles, man, it's going to be very devastating to you people, man. You ain't going to have no remedy. Okay? So let's go from there. Let's go to Revelation 6:12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Right, man. And what is it? We started off with that Amos chapter 5, verse 18. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, man. And one of the things that these missiles are going to cause is going to be darkness upon the earth. Why? Because these missiles, even if it happens, if the missiles so happen to be shot off in the middle of the day, those clouds are going to make it seem very dark out here, man. All right. And it goes on to say, verse 13, and the stars of heaven fell onto the earth. Now, when these missiles are in the air and you see that fire burning behind them, when these missiles are very high, they're going to look like stars, because all you're going to see is that little twinkling. So it says, and the stars of heaven fell onto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And something that has always stuck in my mind, what the Apostle Tahar spoke about this particular verse, is that fig tree leaves, when they fall in an arcing manner. And so that's how these missiles are going to come, in an arcing manner. Okay, they get launched off, they go up, they get they get to that particular point, and then they start to come back down, man, like an arc, like that St. Louis, the gates of St. Louis, whatever the fuck they're called, that big arch. Okay, it's just like that, man. Look it up. Look up a picture of it, man. That's an arc, man. And that's how these missiles are gonna come down. Verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Right, man. And it said, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. And if you look at a scroll from the ancient days, you gotta, to open it, you gotta roll the two sides away, right? And it rolls away. And then when it's closing, the roll goes back in. The two sides roll back in together till they meet. Well, that's how that nuclear cloud is going to be, because that vacuum is pulling up, right? The vacuum of the nuclear explosion is sucking up the air, okay, and it's going up into that cloud, and it's causing it to look like a mushroom cloud. That's what you call a mushroom cloud. So this is what the scriptures are describing right here, man. Okay, and it goes on to say, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens, and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? And this is what these nations, this is what these leaders, these elites are going to be saying to themselves. They're going to be trying to hide themselves, go into these underground bunkers to try to escape the judgment, but it's not going to save them, because we're going to pull them out of these places, man. Okay? When they say who shall be able to abide therein in the day of the Lord, that's a good question, because you ain't. You know, it's really a rhetorical question. Well, let's go from there. Let's go to Isaiah 54 and verse 16. Behold, because the Lord has put the spirit in these devils. It's funny because here it is. They're going to be running from this. They're going to be trying to escape the very judgment that the Lord used them to create. The Lord had used these devils to create these missiles, man. And it's going to be their own undoing. This is that part of that snare that the Lord has gotten these devils in. So Isaiah 54 and verse 16, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. You see? And this is that son of perdition, okay, that goeth to destruction. All right? This is Esau Edom, man. The Lord used them to create these missiles. He is the smith that bloweth the coals. What does a blacksmith do? They create weapons. And this blacksmith that the Lord used, he used him to create the nuclear weapons. That was his ultimate downfall. Okay? And it's funny that they're going to be running from it and trying to escape it, because the Lord used them to create it. You know? What a coincidence. You know? But again, there is no coincidence, man. You see? Give me 1 second, Bubba Kashar. All right, Salakia. You know, but hey, man, it's gonna be a very, very beautiful day to, Lord's will we be a part of that salvation, to see the waster be destroyed by his own creation. Kind of like that Frankenstein story. Okay? But see, the way that these people are going to die because of these missiles is going to be something horrendous, man. You know, just the worst way possible that you could die, man, is going to befall you people. Matter of fact, let's get this in Zechariah 14 and verse 12. And it reads, Zechariah 14 and 12, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people. You see, and there goes that reference to the missiles being a plague. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people. And remember, he's gathering all the nations. Okay? The Lord is gathering up all the nations to destroy them, to judge them, that hath fought against Jerusalem. You see, there you go. Tying that back in with that Joel chapter 3. It says, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Now you got to ask yourself, what type of weapon can cause your skin to be to be consumed away while you're standing. I mean, it has to be something that happens so fast that you're still somewhat alive for this to happen, because if you were dead, you'd be on the ground already. So this is talking about the nuclear missiles, man. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes. Your eyes are going to literally be just disintegrated in their sockets. And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Yeah, man. And when you breathe in that air, that 2 Peter chapter 3, it says that the elements shall melt with fervor and heat. Well, oxygen, nitrogen, and everything else that makes up the air, including carbon dioxide from what you expel, aren't elements of the earth. Carbon dioxide is a carbon with 2 oxygen molecules, right? Those are all elements. All those things are going to melt. So when you breathe in that air, you're gonna gasp because you see the explosion, and that heat is going to go down into your mouth, down your throat, and just melt everything, man. Everything is just, golly, man. This is why it is important to seek out salvation, because you don't want to go through these things that is getting ready to come upon the earth, man. It's a heavy, heavy judgment that's getting ready to fall upon the earth, man. And there is going to be no escaping. It would behoove you to seek the Lord while he may be found, man. Okay? Because you don't want to be a part of this World War III. You don't want to see the results of this World War III. And this is not going to be like the wars of old, man. There ain't going to be a victor out of this war, man. Like the wars of before. The wars of before were what? It was a bunch of chaos, man. Men going up trying to run up hills while men up top had machine guns and just mowing niggas down, and a bunch of bayonet fighting and all this and that, and blood and people screaming, and there would be a battlefield and trenches. No, this fight ain't gonna be like that no more. Now we got drones, okay? We got laser beams, we got missiles. Okay, so this is going to be like a battle of ancient times, man. Let's get that in Isaiah chapter 9. Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Right, and that's how all the battles before had been fought. Confused noise because you hearing bullets going off, explosions, people screaming, men, with their war chants and all types of shit. And it says in garments rolled in blood. You just be covered in blood. The man next to you just exploded because a grenade just blasted off. He forgot to throw it, or he didn't throw it in time, or a grenade got thrown to him, or he got hit with a mortar, or he stepped on a landmine, or whatever it might have been. People were covered all in blood, man. But it says what? But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Because those missiles, man, that are coming got nothing but fuel up in them. And they're going to cause fire to burn. They're going to cause fire to come down and burn your simple ass, man. Okay? So let's go from there. Drawing close to an end. Let's go from there. Let's go to Isaiah 34. And in verse, let's start at verse 4. And it says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. And going back to that Revelation 6, right? Because it's talked about the heavens being rolled when these missiles, hit that mushroom cloud. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And all the host, meaning the army, shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. And that army is talking about the missiles, the Lord's army. Because see, the Lord has multiple armies. He has the armies of the angels, the armies of the prophets, the armies of the missiles, and the armies of the world. The Lord controls all that. Those are all the Lord's army. Okay? So it says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, which that host is talking about if I'm not mistaken, the armies of the earth, okay, because they're going to fight against the Lord. And it says, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Okay, so that's how those missiles, again, going back to that revelation, that's how they're going to fall, man. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my cursed judgment, man. So see, Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom, which Edom is Esau. So see, the judgment is coming down primarily for these devils, man. But Idumea, the land of Idumea, the chief city of Esau, is what? America now. Okay, this is that whore that rideth upon the beast. This is the hammer of the whole earth. So the missiles are going to primarily come down upon America, man. Okay. It says, verse 6, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. You see? So all you people that are being wicked and doing wickedly, you're all been made a sacrifice, man. And America is an altar. Okay? And all you people are getting ready to be sacrificed on this place. And what do you do with the sacrifice? You burn it. So the Lord can smell it. And see? And it's going to be a righteous sacrifice that the Lord is going to bring upon you people. Okay? So let's get, we'll close out with this last precept in 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 13. It says, let's start at verse 12. It says, the earth quaketh and the foundations thereof. The sea riseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. Right, man? Again, these missiles are going to be causing earthquakes and tsunamis. Okay, it says, verse 13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and he shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. So see, the Lord is going to be shooting these missiles from the ends of the world. He's going to put it in the spirit of these leaders of these nations and their armies to send off these nuclear missiles to shoot them off, man. And it's going to be a terrible day for you people of the world, and a beautiful day for those that are not of this world, man. For the elect, okay? We're going to behold the judgment of the Lord and be saved in the midst thereof, okay? And we getting ready to witness a beautiful thing, man. And Lord's will, this be the year that it happens in, 2023. All right? So, hey, with that, Lord's will, this is edifying. I want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of the great millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and sincerity. With that, I say, Shalom.